You may have heard there's been some lesbian movies out this holiday season.
Happiest season. It's a new rom-com.
Netflix holiday movie titled A New York Christmas Wedding.
I was adopted.
Well, there's another lesbian movie out. But this time, it's a musical.
Let's get this party started!
It's time to build a prom for everyone. Show them all it can be done.
Let's talk about what the movie got right.
I just wanna dance with you.
What the movie got wrong.
For God's sakes, just read it.
Let's jump right in. I hit my titty. Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm addicted to peanut butter, and this is my really gay YouTube channel. Netflix The Prom is a movie about a young lesbian who learns her entire school is trying to prevent her from going to the prom. It's got Meryl Streep, it's got the guy from Karaoke Cab or whatever, it's got Kerry Washington, plus random inserts of Nicole Kidman. First impressions. Okay, you don't walk away from a movie starring Meryl Streep in it and think, what a piece of shit. So, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be ripping this movie to shreds. It's a watchable musical. It's high quality production, high quality acting on a high quality set with high quality music and dance numbers. Plus, it's got one of the greatest ideas ever for how to reform redneck bigots hidden inside this scene trying to convince an Indiana rally audience not to hate gays.
Let us accept one another. I know it's truly hard. We're sister and brother. Here's what I learned at Juilliard. Bigotry's not big of me, and it's not big of you.
So let's get to the heart of this Les Fest, the point of this whole movie, or what I assume was supposed to be the point of this movie. The queer lady couple. Jo Ellen Pellman plays Emma, and as soon as she came on screen, I was like, oh, I remember that bitch. I remember, that's the from The Handmaid's Tale. Wait a sec, that's not the lady from The Handmaid's Tale. I was thinking of Elizabeth Moss. That's like a whole separate white. Turns out Jo Ellen Pellman was cast in her biggest role yet. For someone whose biggest job before this was playing girl number 2 on Marvelous Miss Maisel, like, she did a good job. Do I see this becoming her breakout role? No. I mean, if I had to think of one character I could kind of live without, it might be her. But honestly, she carried this way better than Mackenzie Davis carried Happiest Season. So, Ariana DeBose, and I might be pronouncing her name wrong because,
Ariana DeBose.
Ariana DeBose, who normally looks like this, but who was sprayed head to toe in heterotan for her role as a closeted cheerleader, is compelling in the few moments her character is allowed to have the focus of the movie.
You wish there was a world where you were simply free to live.
Let's talk about the stars of this movie, the big names on the bill, the names that probably brought in most of the movie's viewers. Meryl Streep is obviously like, oh my god, I want you to be my mommy. Meryl Streep is obviously like one of the best actors on the planet. She was there to sing and to dance and do that whole kill the audience with your sheer Meryl Streepness thing, and she did it. James Corden has a tough time matching Meryl's energy here. He has better chemistry with Reggie Watts in this commercial for Keurig coffee makers. As much as he was playing a stereotypically flamboyant gay man, I still never saw him as his character or as anything other than the guy singing karaoke songs. Corden's the cast member who's gotten the most criticism for his acting in this movie, but I kind of saw that coming because people were questioning casting him from the moment it made the news. To everyone who critiques him, you're right. If you watch him in the first 5 minutes of the movie, he does some version of this for the entire scene. I don't discredit Ryan Murphy for casting him. I mean, obviously the way this movie was casted had nothing to do with anybody's ability to play their role. Clearly, they just wanted a bunch of famous people to bring in viewers. And for some reason, somebody high up decided James Corden is a big name. Kerry Washington puts a little bit of Reese Witherspoon's crazy from Little Fires Everywhere into her mom character. Keegan-Michael Key plays a school principal who aligns with Emma, the main character. This like romance developed between him and Meryl Streep's character. I don't know. It was like an Applebee's commercial.
Don't tell anybody. Right.
That's why it was weird. It was an Applebee's commercial. Nicole Kidman being in this makes zero sense to me. From the beginning to the end, her scenes feel out of place and unnecessary. The big music number she shares with Emma is a Chicago musical knockoff. Nicole Kidman shows off her I can be in musicals too, Meryl skills, but by the time it's over, Nicole Kidman's character kind of fades into the background and you just go right back to being like, who is she again? Okay, now let's discuss the real big name attached to this project. Ryan Murphy. Of course, Ryan Murphy, famous for his High School Musical show Glee and also for American Horror Story. His style and viewpoints are glowing from every angle and perspective. Now, this is the first in a series of 5 movies or projects that Murphy has a deal with Netflix to make. This deal was famously negotiated a couple of years ago, and it's worth $300 million. I'm sorry, I just choked on my own poorness. I'm just like, I love Ryan Murphy. I love everything he's done for gays. Like, yeah, man. Thank you so much, but like, I just hate rich people so much. Almost as soon as people found out with this deal between Ryan Murphy and Netflix, the media and the public began questioning, like, is this worth it? Is Netflix going to be able to make back its initial investment? Well, I can answer one question. If he's supposed to make 5 movies and he's getting a total of $300 million, that means each movie is worth roughly $60 million. And I can tell you right now, this is not a $60 million musical. This is not like Lord of the Gay Rings the musical. This is not worth that much money. I'm gonna be honest. There is like, from my perspective, zero buzz for this movie. And the fact that all of the articles I read detailing Murphy's Netflix deal talked about how Netflix liked that he was so buzzworthy and that he was winning all these awards makes me wonder if Netflix feels like they got what they wanted. I mean, Kristen Stewart and Aubrey Plaza like took over lesbian TikTok for a couple of days, and Sarah Paulson had been running that ship. But the prom? I'm not seeing any hype for this. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are some individuals that are hyped. For whatever reason, I don't see or hear people talking about this movie nearly as much. I really want to make fun of James Corden's accent in The Prom by Netflix, but then I'd have to admit that I'm watching The Prom by Netflix. So I won't make fun of James Corden's accent in The Prom by Netflix. I think this tweet from a married hetero man pretty much sums up why this movie hasn't quite been a hit with the lesbians. Wife suggested Netflix The Prom last night. Have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. Difficult subject matter presented very tastefully. If very tastefully from the lips of a hetero man about a queer lesbian movie isn't the kiss of death, what is? Very tasteful. Whatever it is Ryan Murphy's trying to do here. And let me be clear, I actually am not sure what he's trying to do. Like, I guess I'm asking, who is he making this for? Because it's definitely not a movie that's made for queer girls, in my opinion. Until Netflix uses some CGI or sci-fi shit to replace James Corden with Titus Burgess, I will not be watching The Prom. And I haven't made it 20 minutes in and I already like it. So forget the haters, I love the people in this movie. Okay, so some people liked it. Wow, I can't believe the Netflix adaptation of The Prom ended homophobia. Like, damn, they did that. Question 1. Why is Meryl Streep playing Patti LuPone? surely they could just cast the original. And this person is referring to the fact that this movie is based on a live Broadway musical. Some people were kind of wondering, like, why didn't they cast, some of the stage actors? And to those people I ask, do you know anything about showbiz? Probably not. Half the projects that get made in mainstream media only get made because of the big names attached to them. This is kind of how the entertainment industry works. It's actually how everything works, to be honest. Have some sort of product, event, or anything that you want people to know about? Get someone famous involved, and suddenly people go from not knowing about it to knowing about it. The casting of Meryl is like super easy to figure out. It's Meryl Streep. She gives the musical credibility and gives people like my girlfriend who've watched Mamma Mia 400 times something to be excited about. Did you see my eyes when I said 400 times? My ultimate rating for this musical movie is 2 out of 4 stars. The fact is, the musical numbers are fun, and I finished this movie with a smile on my face. I can't call it great. I even struggle to call it good. Even though, it's a good movie. I really struggle to connect with it as a queer woman. I will never watch this movie again. And to me, with great musical movies, that's usually a common trait. You want to watch them again. Or if you're my girlfriend, again and 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 again. There's something missing. As somebody who is estranged from my parents, I lived that. I have been in the lowest place of my life. And obviously a musical is not going to portray that in the same light. But this movie really doesn't even begin to touch on how hard it would be to actually be this girl in real life. Emma, the lead character, basically smiles her way through high school bullying and this really humiliating and terrifying life experience. I don't think James Corden ruined this movie. This movie was never about gay teens, and it certainly wasn't trying to be about lesbian teens. This movie was about Ryan Murphy and his $300 million Netflix deal. Big names were brought in, big money was spent, and the result is 2 hours of streaming content that probably would have been just as enjoyable inside of a YouTube playlist. I am confident that the superior version of this is a live musical on Broadway. Alright, that's it for the video. I really want to give a special thanks to every single person who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I'm enjoying interacting with you in the comments, and some of y'all are funny as hell. I'm a comedian, but some of you have me rolling out of my chair, I swear to God. If you're looking for more content or comedy or a combo of the two, I am on every platform at Amanda Costner. Thank you so much. All right, peace out.